शिवं शिवं सनातनं शिवं शिवं सनातन शिवं शिवं सनातनम्
Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste, eternal souls. So, in this fourth episode of Bhagavad Gita in Practical Life series, we will understand the Sankhya Yoga, the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, before understanding the knowledge, let us connect to the Supreme Teacher, the Nirakar Shiv, so that our consciousness will be at par with the Supreme Soul. So, we are displaying the video in which we are supposed to remember the Supreme Soul. So create a thought that I am a peaceful soul and Lord Shiva is my Supreme Soul. I am a peaceful soul and Lord Shiva is my Supreme Father. So the beauty of Sanatan Dharma is we can connect to the Supreme Soul in whichever relationship we like. So that is the beauty of this dharma. So we can also say that I am a peaceful soul. Lord Shiva is my supreme mother. We can also say that Lord Shiva is my supreme teacher. And Lord Shiva is my life partner also. So whichever relationship you are comfortable with him, you can connect to him through your thought process and be in that relationship and move on with your spiritual journey. So, spirituality is not reaching God, it is moving with Him hand in hand to attain the ultimate stage of perfection. A stage of perfection where the mind is balanced, where you reach a balanced state of mind, which is called as the Sthita Prajna in the Bhagavad Gita. So once you get connected to him and maintain the soul consciousness stage, let us study the remaining shlokas of the second chapter. So I'm displaying it here, the second chapter, the 21st shloka. I'll just reading the shlokas and then I'll come into the practical application. This is the 21st shloka where the Supreme is saying, Partha, considering that the individual unit of consciousness, that is the soul, which is eternal, unborn, imperishable, and indestructible, how can a person kill anyone and whom does he kill? So now this has to be applicable the soul, but in the external world, whatever the violent physical attacks or the murders are happening, actually they are killing the body. But how to overcome those type of situations with the application of the spiritual knowledge? So I will be quoting my own inner story and make you understand, but let us just understand it point by point. So then next, after this 21st shloka, 22nd, just as one removes old clothes and accepts new ones, similarly the embodiment unit of consciousness gives up old bodies and accepts new bodies. In the 23rd shloka, weapons cannot cut the individual consciousness. It cannot be burnt by fire. Water cannot wet it and air cannot dry it. In the 27th shloka, for one who is born, death is certain, and for one who is dead, birth is certain. Therefore, you should not grieve over that which is inevitable. In the 28th shloka, O Bharata, all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again unmanifest after death. What then is the reason for lamentation? So in the 30th shloka, the eternal individual consciousness that dwells within the bodies of all beings can never be slain. That means it cannot be violently killed or murdered. Thus, you should not lament for anyone. So in the 33rd shloka, but if you decide not to take part in this war of righteousness, then having abandoned your own duty and reputation, you will incur sin. In the 37th shloka, O son of Kunti, if you are killed, you will attain heaven, and if you are victorious, you will enjoy the earth. Therefore, be confident of your success, stand up and fight. So, in the 30th shloka, maintain equanimity when faced with pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, and fight. Thus, you shall not incur sin. So, in the 39th shloka, I have revealed to you the knowledge of individual consciousness. Now, hear how to act upon this knowledge, through which you will be able to release yourself from the bondage of action. So, the purpose of the Supreme Teacher telling all the soul knowledge is to release us from the bondage of action. So, now let us come into the practical life. So, in the practical life, regarding the soul consciousness stage, that where we will come out of the bondage of action. So, to come out of this bondage of action, we should have the soul knowledge. So, to put it into the practical life, we have made it easy by preparing some slides regarding the original qualities of the soul. So, the original qualities of the soul are peace, love, purity, knowledge, happiness, bliss, power. That is a thought power. These are the 7 original qualities of the soul, the Swadharma, as said in the Bhagavad Gita. So, when you act upon by taking the 7 qualities of the soul, then you will come out of the bondage of the action. So this is a Swadharma, means all your thoughts, words and deeds should be done according to this Swadharma. Sounds very simple. If you put into the practical life, then also it is easy, provided you take the power from the Supreme Soul. Just understanding the knowledge, and if you try to put into the practical life without taking power from the supreme source, the unlimited source of power, you will struggle a lot. That is the reason why people are very much afraid of knowing the knowledge or putting into practical life, and they find it very difficult. In fact, the easy way of transforming the soul from all the burdens of life and to come out of the bondage of the actions, the simple way is to know the original qualities and accordingly performing your thoughts, words, and deeds. This is called as Swadharma. And now we'll see the Paradharma also. These are the acquired qualities. Why we are saying it as acquired qualities is when once the soul comes into the body consciousness by looking itself from the lens of the ego, the body, all these acquired qualities, the evil tendencies, they start emerging, and accordingly we'll be thinking, talking and doing the actions. That is a lust, anger, greed, attachment, arrogance and jealousy. So the battle what the Supreme Soul is asking Arjuna to fight, this is the foundation. That where we are confused, whether to use the peace or to use the anger, whether to be attached or detached, whether we should have the greed or whether we should be in a state of satisfaction or arrogance or in a self state of the soul consciousness or jealousy or abundant. So this is where the clash is coming in the mind. So this is where he's talking about the battle. To kill means to have to kill all these evil tendencies. It is not the physical fight what he's talking about. When the Supreme was saying you stand for yourself, fight. I will again, once again, we'll go through all the shlokas in the next episode. Because once we understand what is the battle at the mind level and how to fight it out and maintain a balanced state of mind, the Sthita Prajna stage, and how to get detached from the actions what we are performing so that we'll maintain a stability, means stability of mind. The Sthita Prajna stage is where we experience the happiness instantly. But now the present state of the mind is we are, actually our happiness is fluctuating or else we are not experiencing happiness at all. That is our state of mind. So in the first chapter where Arjuna was in a state of sorrow, the Supreme is giving us the knowledge so that the sorrow is destroyed and we will be experiencing a balanced state of mind, the stability of mind where the happiness is constant. So this is the internal battle what the supreme teacher is teaching us. Apart from teaching us the knowledge, he will give us the power and he will be with us throughout the journey. That is the reason when the Mahabharata, when the Bhagavad Gita picture is shown, the Sri Krishna is shown as a charioteer where the Arjuna is fighting with the bows and arrows. Here the arrows means the arrows of the thought. These are not the physical arrows. So nothing has to be applied to the physicality. If you apply it to the physicality, you will understand it as a physical war, and we don't even know to whom we should go and fight. And people, they just get confused or they just leave it. So now we'll come to the practical application. So the first battle starts here for applying this knowledge is we always keep thinking that we don't have time. So whether we have the time or not, whether we don't have the time, what to do with the time we have, how to use it, there is an internal battle going on. But do we really have the time? Means yes, we do have the time. But the negative thought, but the waste thought what we create here is I don't have time. So here now we need to understand that once we get connected to the Supreme Soul, the treasures in the subconscious mind, in the soul, they get automatically unlocked and activated. Soul is a spiritual word and energy is a scientific word. So the thoughts are created by the soul, which we call it as the mind. And after creating the thought, analyzing and implementing, taking a decision will also happen at the soul level, which we call it as an intellect. And once the thought process, whatever the thoughts you create, if you keep on doing it repeatedly, it will become a pattern which is called as the recorded impression or the thinking pattern, which is actually stored in the subconscious mind. So here, first of all, the most important battle which we are doing at the thought level, we will win it, we'll become victorious by creating a elevated thought that I have the treasure of time. Shift in the words will shift in the energy, because all the time we are actually operating from a state of scarcity, saying that I don't have this, I don't have the resources, I don't have the time. So every time we keep saying that we don't have it, even if we have it also, we'll not understand its value. So today actually we have 24 hours time. But how we are using it, that is the point. And before using it, there should be shift at the mind level, where we have to practice that I have the treasure of time. So all these years during our lifespan, we have only created a thought that I don't have time. So by creating that thought, we were operating from a state of scarcity and we are always experiencing a push or a rush in the mind. We are always falling shortage of the time. So now let us make a simple shift at the mind level, saying that I have the treasure of time. Once you create a thought, see, even we are depicting through pictures also, the entire time is in your hands only. In spite of having so many resources, if you don't invest time for your own growth, all other resources of no use. So this is how we are going to put this Bhagavad Gita knowledge into practical life. So though you don't find this thought in the Bhagavad Gita book, from where did we understand is once we get connected to the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Soul keeps guiding us. It is also called as the intuitive power or the inner voice. We ourselves keep understanding how to put this knowledge into the practical life. So we again keep telling the students that I am not your guru. The Supreme Shiva is your guru. You have to connect to him so that at a point of time, you yourself will understand how to put this knowledge into practical life. Because what we are telling through this YouTube is actually a theory. Unless and until you practice it and you experiment it, you will not get the visible results. So, in the previous episode, we have learned that I am an eternal soul. In this episode, we are learning that I have the treasure of time. So, once you create these elevated thoughts, the internal battle regarding the time, what we are facing in the mind, you will be winning that battle. You will be victorious. Because, like Arjuna, we in this Kurukshetra, means in the field of action, we are actually putting aside our arrows the way Arjuna has done. Means we have actually the thought power. But like Duryodhana in the Mahabharata, Duryodhan, means Dhanka Durupayog, means we have the treasure of thoughts which we are misusing by creating a negative thought. Actually, we should call it as a waste thought because all our time is getting wasted because of that thought, and we are creating a manifesting a scarcity of time. So, like Duryodhan, we are actually misusing our thought power, the treasure of thought, the treasure of knowledge, what we have. We are misusing it. So, where is Duryodhana? Actually, he's inside us only. How can we kill him? How can we destroy him? By our thought power. So, we'll create an elevated thought that I have the treasure of time. And once we get connected to the Supreme Soul, this thought will gain power and you will feel a situation, you will feel a state of abundance. You will come out of the scarcity mode. So, all these things have to be experimented by the spiritual students. So, this is for today. And in the next episode, we'll be teaching some more aspects of from now onwards, we'll be accelerating your journey with giving with giving some live examples also and some other thoughts which are very simple. In fact, we request all the students whoever are saying that we don't have time, just replace it with the thought that I have the treasure of time. And in whichever activities are due, just switch on this video and try to listen it. And if you note down and do it, it's more beautiful your journey will be. So we'll meet in the next episode. So till then, thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.